yours who scream to keep it real. She's a black down, hoodied up and
He has no just cause to want my life. There is no forethought, no logic in his actions. This isn't just any swordsman. This is the blind nigga samurai.
What's good, nigga? What's really good?
What's up, YouTube? Hood Philosopher here, and I'm here to drop some knowledge. Alright, so our topic of today is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez recently proposed a 70% tax percentage on the nation's most wealthy people. It's got a lot of people across the country in debate right now, a lot of good conversation going on. It's got conservatives in their feelings. Just talking about raising taxes to conservatives is like bringing up Lord Voldemort's name in Harry Potter. Just like any topic in politics right now, this has got people both on the left and right in their feelings. So let's just get into the facts. So AOG was doing an interview with Anderson Cooper on 60 Minutes where she suggested that the top earners in the country, for the example she uses, you're making over 10 million a year, that the 70% tax rate would kick in at that point. And of course that got a lot of people talking. A lot of people with any of AOG's comments, they look at her as a radical, as a socialist, but really if you look back in this country's history, back in the first half of the 20th century, the marginal tax rate for the top earners was actually very high. I believe it capped at about 90% for President Dwight D. Eisenhower, who was a Republican. During that time, the U.S. saw a lot of economic growth as well as a surplus. The middle class is probably the strongest it's been in this country's history. But then you fast forward to the 80s, and a young man named Ronald Reagan became president of the United States, and he ran on the premise of lowering taxes. This would give birth to what's called Reaganomics, or trickle-down economics. What a lot of people don't know is that the Democrats at the time actually proposed lowering the top marginal tax bracket to about 50%. They seen it as a compromise in getting the bill passed by more conservatives. What this essentially did was increase the wealth gap tremendously in the country. Wages for middle class workers only raised 10% since the 80s, while it's raised 6,000% for the most wealthy in this country. In my personal opinion, I don't think AOG is too radical for suggesting the 70% tax rate. In my personal opinion, she has the history to back it up. It's been done before in this country. However, I don't think it would necessarily work in the current climate for the desired effect of doing something about income inequality. If there's one thing rich people are good at, it's staying rich. Okay? So if this happens, they will find every loophole in the book to avoid paying taxes. So are you really going to get the desired tax revenue from this? If you're going to look at increasing the marginal tax rate, you also need to look at raising the tax rate on capital gains. Because let's face it, that's how a lot of rich people make money. Their investments coming in. So you really need to look at raising the tax rate on their capital gains, because that's where the big money's coming in, and that's where they're making the majority of the profit. A lot of people look at this as income envy, or why are you demonizing people for being rich? But the problem is, fundamentally, trickle-down economics does not work. We've had 30 plus years to see if it has worked from Reaganomics. It does not work. We know that rich people do not invest their money into paying poor people more money. They invest their money in rich shit like buying yachts and stocks and bonds and shit. They don't give a fuck about poor people. Trickle-down economics does not work. Trump's tax cuts added $1 trillion to the debt, and that money has not been invested into the middle class. The rich corporations use that money to offer stock buybacks for all their investors. They are not investing in the middle class, and the middle class needs the most investment in this country. I had to break up with my tax season white girl because she's just not getting any deductions on her tax return this year. Look, whether you're a Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative, space lizard, we have a problem in this country, and that is the state and the health of the middle class. I believe that we seriously need to fix this issue. Let me know what y'all think would be the best fixes in the comments. If you like this video, spam that like button and subscribe. I'll be bringing more content in the future, talking about all the big stories happening where it comes to politics, sports, music, you name it. I got you. Hood Philosopher signing off. Y'all be blessed.